This battered cutting machine looked like it had been pulled straight from a scrapyard. Covered in rust, dirt, and thick grease, its original colour had completely disappeared. The frame was cracked, the parts were jammed, and even the power cord was damaged. Most people would have thrown it away immediately, but for a skilled technician, this old machine was not trash. It was a forgotten piece of engineering waiting to be revived. The restoration began with a full disassembly. Every screw was carefully removed as the crankcase cover slowly came apart, revealing a heavily oxidized flywheel hidden inside. Despite years of neglect, many of the internal parts were still structurally strong. Next came the deep cleaning process. The crankcase and metal parts were submerged in a cleaning solution, while brushes removed decades of grease and corrosion. The carburetor was cleaned channel by channel, and the crankshaft assembly was polished until the metal regained its shine. After cleaning, the repair stage began. Using a high-speed grinding machine, the technician carefully smoothed the cylinder surfaces and removed old gasket residue and rust. The cylinder bores were refined to restore smooth inner walls, while the pistons and piston rings were inspected one by one to ensure they still moved freely. Then came one of the most satisfying moments: painting. The crankcase and covers were suspended and sprayed with heat-resistant matte black paint, instantly transforming the machine's appearance. The cylinder block received a fresh white coating, making the cooling fins look factory new again. Assembly started with installing new bearings and seals to prevent future leaks. The crankshaft was lowered carefully into position, followed by the piston and cylinder block. Every bolt was tightened with precision, while the spark plugs, ignition coil, and flywheel were reinstalled step by step. The carburetor was completely rebuilt using a new diaphragm and gasket. Springs, valves, and tiny clamps were carefully returned to their original positions, bringing the engine back to life piece by piece. Attention then shifted to the cutting arm. A heavily rusted center nut refused to move, so the technician heated it with a torch until the metal expanded enough to loosen it. The protective cover was stripped of rust using a grinding wheel and then polished smooth before brand new diamond cutting blades were installed. Finally, the machine was fully reassembled. With its white frame, black cutting arm, red custom parts, and sharp new blades, the old cutting machine looked completely reborn. No one would believe it had once been a pile of rusted scrap metal. Then came the most exciting moment. A fresh fuel mixture was added, the starter cable was pulled, and suddenly the engine roared back to life. White smoke drifted through the workshop as the familiar sound of the motor echoed once again after years of silence. For the final test, the machine was taken outside and pushed against a brick and concrete wall. The diamond blades spun at high speed, slicing cleanly through the material while dust exploded into the air. The cuts were smooth, powerful, and precise, proving the old machine still had incredible strength left inside it. If you enjoy satisfying restorations, powerful machines, and amazing engineering transformations, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more incredible rebuild projects.